god, we have our first double battle here. Just in time for having two Pokemon we can actually use.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
Well, it's finally Souling time again. If you've been wondering where these have been, then take it up with Boy, because this is the third time I've asked him to do another one. He's been reluctant to go back, mostly because he knew what to be afraid of. I did not.
Everyone in Pokemon wears a mini skirt. Have you noticed that? Like what? Except for Cynthia. Cynthia wears pants.
In Gen 5, the Pokemon are a lot scarier, the trainers are a lot stronger, and there are a fraction of the amount of encounters to capture since the eastern half of the region is locked until the post-game. Despite all of that though, Gen 5 is my favorite region, so if you're seeing this, it means that I finally wore him down. You literally have Tepig. What?
Am I playing the randomized
We'll check the
one?
next one.
Okay.
Are you playing the randomized
I may have
one?
made a mistake, Cheren.
Let's get the formalities out of the way before things take off. Soulings are a 2-player Nuzlocke. This means that each Pokemon captured in a new route or area is linked to our partners. If it faints, then the pair gets boxed and can't be used.
I hope we get some good Pokemon here because
I do too. The added caveat is that only one of each primary typing can be present on the team at a time. If I have a water type, then the only way he can use one is if it's a secondary typing. For added spice, we like to link male and female pairs so that boy meets girl. Okay, rules are done. Let's get these starter Pokemon.
All right, ready? Go ahead.
Drillbur!
Drillbur the ground type. All right, we got a Teddy Ursa.
Okay, so normal. Spinda.
Spinda. Abomasnow.
Ooh.
What?
A Latios! Squirtle!
He's precious. So wait a minute. Dragon, Psychic. That's Jetstream Sam.
That's Jetstream Sam.
I think there's only really one choice here. I'm going with Squirtle.
You gotta go Squirtle.
And you go with Latios.
Yeah.
You don't look a gift legendary in the mouth.
No.
Okay.
Girlfriend Good Luck is already on full display here, as I get to have Jetstream Sam as my starter Pokemon. My boyfriend grabbed the Squirtle against his better judgment, because although water types are the bane of every Soul Link, he didn't have a much better option.
God, look at little Squirtle's sprite, Cheren. He jumps.
I am so
He
excited
jumps in
to
place.
see their sprites in Gen 5.
I like Latios because he does like a little like swirl, like he's floating there and he's gonna. There he goes.
Oh, he did a swirl! Oh, I love that.
Isn't that cool?
That's so cool. I am very energized about this. Gen 5 is nice because we waste no time getting right to business. As soon as you get your starter, you battle the 2 rivals and then embark into the world.
I'm ready to get this show on the road, Cheren.
Let's do it. Oh, what's it gonna be?
A nose pass.
I like nose pass.
All right, we got a female rock coming in. Damn, the first step, I got something. Let's see what it is.
My cap!
It's a splash.
A splash!
We can't use it, but it's cool.
Getting our first couple of encounters was a bit rough out of the gates though. Our Route 1 encounter unfortunately had a water type in it, and Route 2 also had a water type.
This does not bode well. Hopefully things get better.
I'm not really complaining, because although we're stuck using a single Pokemon, I'm the one using a Latios. Okay, nice. Oh, good work, Jetstream. My boyfriend, on the other hand, was dealing with some buyer's remorse. At this point, he was really starting to regret picking Cooper the Squirtle, but the little guy ended up proving his worth in the first end battle and cemented his place on the team for us.
He's
Okay,
gonna miss.
Cooper. Come on, Cooper.
Come on, Cooper.
Come on, Cooper.
Oh, he did it! He did it! Oh my god, I gotta get this guy trained up.
Yes.
You think level 10, but Bubble's such a shit move.
Yeah.
Good lord, Cooper. Way to show your worth.
So with still no second pair, we marched on to Striaton and what would be our first gym battle. Before challenging the leader, we had one last opportunity to get a pair from the elemental monkey gift located in the Moonyard. All we'd have to do was fight one trainer before we could get to them.
A Kyogre!
Oh my god!
Well, this sucks.
Fighting a super ancient Pokemon this early meant that it didn't have all that dangerous of a moveset, but hopefully we can find some new pairs before he runs into another one.
They really feel bad about that Kyogre, don't they?
They're like, that was kind of bullshit. The good news is we can now access the elemental monkey gift.
Your Squirrel does not do well against fire types. Cheren, we really gotta stop taking advice from every rando we find on the streets, because these people are they're not just uninformed, they're misinformed.
And his has been turned into yet another water type.
Do you want this Floatzel? Honestly, no.
I guess we'll be taking on the first gym with a single Pokemon each then. Out of necessity, he decided to turn Squirtle into a Wartortle ahead of the battle, and it's probably a good thing he did.
Cooper's greatest adversary. Oh, God! This is not happening. This is not the one, Cheren. This is not happening. Cooper's greatest adversary was hiding in the wings the whole time.
Oh no!
Please, please don't let it end. I just want one little work. Oh, he's charging. It has to be this turn. It has to be this turn, Cooper.
Come on, Cooper. Come on, Cooper.
It's gotta be this turn, buddy.
Come on. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, Cooper is a hero.
Oh my God, Cheren. This is why I didn't want to do another one of these, frankly, because this shit stresses me out. Good Lord.
The side effect of only having one Pokemon to do literally everything was that Cooper and Jetstream got a little overleveled for this first gym battle. But frankly, it was what was needed to get Boy across the finish line.
Come on, Cooper. A Samurott? Oh.
Ooh.
How does this keep happening? We've got a berry. Popped a berry. That was a crit. We popped the orange berry from Cheren. You know, the guy that almost killed me. We crit him right back, Cheren.
Nice.
We crit him right back.
If you're wondering what I've been up to, by the way, I've just been clicking Dragon Breath each turn. I'll count my lucky stars that there's no fairy typing yet. With the first gym complete, we can use Cut to enter the Dreamyard proper.
Surely we can get an encounter now, right?
Once inside, we finally got a decent encounter and quite literally doubled the sizes of our teams. What are you gonna get? Wilbur, I am so freaking jealous.
Okay, just breathe. This
okay,
could
come
be
on, please,
next level big.
Please. Riolu.
Oh damn, that's fighting.
That's fighting.
And it's a female.
We can use them. It was around this time that it seemed like our luck was turning around because on the very next route, we got another incredible pair for the team. What is this?
Oh, that's a Victini.
What's a Victini?
That's like the Mew of Gen 5. Ooh, what the hell? Electrode? I can make this work.
That was about all we could handle for day one, so we called it a night and hoped that the little girl whose Pokemon got stolen wouldn't mind waiting until morning.
I looked at the clock and I was like, yeah, we're at an hour and 55 minutes. Like, this is a good time to cut off. I look at the clock just now, it's 2:15. It takes us, half of these damn recordings are just naming the Pokemon, Cheren.
Yeah, we have to respect it.
We gotta respect the naming.
At the start of the next day, we fought the Plasma Grunts with Cheren so that we could pick up the Mistral Cave encounter, where once again, I got to flex my girlfriend good luck.
If I was ever, like, if Game Freak ever walked up to me and was like, hey, I want you to make a game,
yeah,
I would change the starters into Psychic Dark Fighting.
Yeah. This one might be special.
You got a Terrakion!
What the hell is a Terrakion?
He's a legendary.
Woo!
He's rock fighting, Cheren.
Rock fighting?
I got Execute. This is a grass type, technically. I don't think they're grass type.
Nice, we don't. So at this point, this is what we're rocking. As jealous as my boyfriend was that I was running 3 legendary Pokemon on my team, no wonder I'm the one who always wants to do these nowadays.
No kidding.
How the tables have
I
turned.
just get my ass beat. Terran's over there with a Terrakion, a Victini, and a Latios, and I've got an Execute.
It was salt in the wound that I kept nabbing up all the good items too. I found a Master Ball, Nick.
God, you are just getting so lucky, Terran. I don't know what to say to that.
If you ask me, he should just be happy that we're going to this next gym battle with 4 times as many Pokemon as the one before it. At least he was happy until he saw another super ancient Pokemon.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, that's spooky.
We keep seeing Kyogres.
Yeah, what the fuck?
This was an important moment in our playthrough because it was the birth of a beautiful friendship. My boyfriend never would have won this encounter without his Execute named Arnold, and it was all thanks to Leech Seed.
There's the seeds. That's huge.
That is huge.
Good work, Arnold.
Arnold's leech seed helped him overcome many tough adversaries in this journey, and this was where it all started.
Okay, huge.
Nice,
That was a crit. That was a crit from Costanza.
That was huge. Costanza knew what you needed.
Oh, thank God for Costanza.
That was a teamwork right there.
These pretzels are making me thirsty, Cheren.
After this battle, Arnold became his lead, and soon every single trainer would know the legend of this carton of eggs.
Only 2. Can we not get more than 2? It hits 3 to 5 times on a good day.
After we got the gym, we got our Pinwheel Forest encounter, which had to get boxed because, to no one's surprise, the water typing. It was here in the forest that my boyfriend was trying to scheme how he could help Arnold reach his maximum potential.
I've been losing Pokemon these past couple Soul Links, like they're going out of style. So I'm like, I'm trying to play like really careful, really smart, but it's a little difficult when all I've got is a goddamn Execute.
He needed a Leaf Stone to evolve him into an Exeggutor, and with randomized items, there wasn't really a consistent way to find one, or so I thought.
Oh, you can get a stone for whatever elemental monkey you got?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like we fought the fire one, so mine's a water stone. Damn it, never mind.
He's got a memory like an encyclopedia for this stuff, and he explained to me that if we could just make it to Castelia City, there's a guy there who lets you pick up an evolutionary stone to evolve your elemental monkey, and he could get a leaf stone for Arnold that way.
Oh wait, which Pokemon do you want to evolve? Pan Sage, so I can get the stone.
Ooh, who did
Then a leaf stone is what you need. Here we go. Okay, cute. I got to pick. That's huge.
Yo.
This is big.
So at the next mission for our evening set in stone, no pun intended, we fought our way through the Pinwheel Forest in the hopes of getting to Castelia, not just for us, but for the dream of helping Arnold Palmer grow up.
Look at him.
He looks amazing.
All right. That's Arnold.
With Palmer entering his full potential, the two of us felt unstoppable. To be fair, I felt unstoppable for a while now. Every turn I either click V-Create or Dragon Breath. My boyfriend's team was really coming together though.
All right, I'm going into the gym. I'm going to save real quick just because things have been really buggy today.
Kept.
And I'm not saying buggy because it's a bug gym. I'm saying buggy because the game keeps crashing and I'm tired of redoing everything. I can't keep track of everything, Cheren. It's a lot of pressure for boy.
Normally, Berg might be scary for Arnold since he's quad weak to that type, but this is randomized, so Berg isn't actually a bug trainer. Arnold wasn't his only Pokemon either. By this point, Sumpig had evolved into Pignite and picked up a fighting typing to add to his move coverage.
You're not going to explode on me, right?
Oh god.
I have bad memories of Registy, I'll be honest with you. I'm going for the arm thrust. We got the pig out. We're gonna pig out.
Hell yeah, you
Pig
will.
out, we're gonna pig out. We only hit 3 times, but oh shit, he's doing it. Oh god, it's the 1,000-yard steal, Cheren. I thought I'd conquered my demons. I thought I'd conquered my... Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's Sumpig!
What a tank. What a tank.
He was arm thrusting his way through anything he couldn't safely leech seed. I just love that so much.
That's all I do. Every turn, I just click arm thrust.
When a fire type was on the field, the strategy was to get Arnold out of there and wall it with Wilbur's younger brother. It was a mostly effective strategy so long as he was paying attention.
Cooper has not... He knows Brave Bird. Oh, shit. I didn't think about how I was a fighting type, and I have lost Sumpig.
Toho! Of course, the first death of the run had to come eventually. I'm just glad it wasn't me. Either way, it was a devastating loss for us both. Riolu wasn't getting much use because I had better fighting options with Terrakion, but Boy really relied on Sumpig's fighting type moves to take out Steel and Dark types.
Get her out of here. Oh god, that was a Zorua? That means that there's another one, there's one in there somewhere.
Oh god.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Zora is like actually hilarious for these.
Yeah, the randomizer with Zorua is really funny.
Licking our wounds, we hit up the desert for our next encounter, who unfortunately got boxed because we already had a grass type on the team with Arnold. With our team a shadow of its former glory, all that was left was to push on and keep fighting.
This is true to real life.
What is?
When I'm bored and like waiting on you for stuff, I just blow all my money on dumb stuff. I think I'm on my like 7th can of lemonade over here.
Despite trying to sneak around as many trainers as possible, we had a lot of required battles before we get to Route 5 and our next potential encounter. The first of which is with N after this creepy Ferris wheel ride.
This is like when he like breaks the news. He's like, I wanted to tell you, I'm L. Wait, no, wrong anime, sorry.
Yeah, my thing's in play there.
It glitched out for you too? We're
Yeah.
just sitting here in silence?
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, I'm alone with this guy and he's not
Yeah.
talking.
Elisa's gym has a lot of required trainers, but traditionally in randomizers, we found the gym leader to be a bit of a pushover compared to their trainers. Elisa seemed that way as well, but I think we may have let that get to our heads.
I'm quad weak to bug, but I'm setting up a leech seed here. Come on, Arnold. Get that leech seed up. There we go. Now let's get him out of there before he gets destroyed by Twin Needle. Oh no! Cheren, we have lost Arnold. We have just lost my favorite Pokemon. I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Arnold.
Oh!
I knew he was quad weak, but I don't know what else to do. Oh.
Dark and difficult days are ahead, Tartney. At least that's what his face said.
A Kabutops. This is gonna be tough. Got 2 Pokemon.
The only thing left to do after losing a Pokemon is to keep moving forwards. Route 5 is the first encounter we've had in a while, and it sparks off a series of them before the 5th gym battle. We were hoping against hope that we could just find something in the grass to bolster our roster.
Not been a very easy road so far. But it always is until it isn't, right? It's always hard until
Yeah.
you win, Staraptor.
What is this?
Heatmore? He's a fire type?
Oh.
I feel like he's like an unusual Pokemon. I want to find Pokemon like that, frankly.
Cool. He picked up a Staraptor and I got a Heatmore, who we both promptly added to the team. It's funny because I didn't even know this Pokemon existed. Either way, Fire and Normal were available, so they got a spot on the squad.
Cool. Normal fire pair.
On Duckla Bridge, as I like to call it, we paired a Probopass and a Hariyama, who were a rock fighting pair, and one we were happy to add to the team. The only real miss was the cold storage where we encountered Muck and Ditto respectively. The encounters were by no means game changers, but it was nice to be running around with more Pokemon again. Damn, you got through the fights faster than me.
Yeah, Staraptor kind of goes hard. I mean, it helped that they had a bunch of grass and bug types, so
That's awesome.
Aerial Ace did some work.
We fought our way down to Clay at the bottom of his gym, but I was feeling a little nervous about my boyfriend's team going into this next battle. When you look at the pairs all lined up next to each other, you can start to see why I was worried about him. He wanted to just push bravely ahead, but I convinced him to back out of the gym and nab the upcoming Route 6 encounter with me. Oh, I literally can just go to Route 6 right now.
I know, I figured that out too, but I figured, wow, just wait. But I can come back up if you want, since you're over there.
Yeah.
It could be a game changer, whatever's in the grass, though, so we should check, just because I'm only fighting this first trainer, so I'll come.
Okay. You never know what might be hiding in the grass, and frankly, he needs all the help he can get.
Oh my god, is that your encounter?
Yes!
Come on. Ooh,
I like
a
Coil.
Coil? I would not say no to a little Coil.
I know! Somehow, the Groudon wasn't the most exciting part of this encounter. But maybe that's because I was already fielding 3 legendaries. My boyfriend finally got a good Pokemon though, and he flew back to Castelia City to pick up the Eviolite for Coil almost as soon as he remembered it existed. You can give Volt Switch to him.
Oh my god! That's genius.
So with Coil on the squad, I felt better letting him challenge Clay, and he showed him what's what.
Get him, Coil.
Go, Coil, go!
And there goes the battle.
Oh yeah. It's funny watching a ground type specialist get smacked up by a Magneton, but that's the fun of a randomizer, isn't it?
We've got a 2-person brain trust here between the 2 of us, and the best solution we've come up with to beating electric types on Boy's team is teaching our water type dig.
Once he was dealt with, we pushed onwards to the Chargestone Cave.
Come on, man. Let's see what we got here. What do we got here? What a good find. A little twig.
Freaking love Turtwig.
Tecton. Oh my god, I have a ground type now too. That's so nice.
That's so good. So he's grass ground.
Yeah.
Inside, it was his turn for a first encounter, and things were already starting to look up when he found a Turtwig.
And he can learn Leech Seed. Oh.
Yeah! You gotta do your strat again, but in an even better way.
Just as I remember him.
Torterra has a secondary ground typing, which is great, since I already have ground crossed off the list with Groudon. Speaking of, I still needed to find something to pair with it.
What the hell? Oh my god. That's so good. But that's a dragon too.
Shit!
So we have to make some decisions.
Oh no!
Wait, no, he's Ghost! He's Primary Ghost! Oh my god!
So again, my 5th legendary encounter of the playthrough, but I was beyond excited to be reunited with my beloved Giratina. Although this one is colored a little weird. Squeebles! It's so funny, to me this one looks like it would be like the special shiny one because I've just played with a blue one.
Aren't you so
spoiled lady.
spoiled, Cheren? Jeez.
Either way, spirits were definitely picking up. Coil and Torterra were 2 solid teammates for him that covered each other's weaknesses really well. Luck would have it, Torterra even had Leech Seed, so it was almost as if Arnold was living on in spirit through him.
I think I'll be able to take him on this turn because of the Leech Seed. There we go.
Nice.
That thing really walled me.
After popping out the other side of the cave, we're asked to clear the Celestial Tower before tackling the gem. Believe it or not, we caught 2 bug normal pairs on Route 7 and the tower itself, both of which got boxed because of their normal typing, but Escavalier was placed at the bottom of the box due to its war crimes against Arnold earlier in the run.
By the way, I'm gonna exile Escavalier to the bottom right corner of the box.
Okay.
Because of the crimes it commit to our very own Arnold. It has to pay for its sins, Cheren.
Once business at the tower was wrapped up, Skyla agreed to battle us back at her gym.
Oh god, I hit the wall.
With larger teams, the battle was a breeze, and we both wondered if the hard times were behind us.
Oh, Cheren, look at this shit. Stun Spore.
Yo, you used
The
berries.
Cherry Berry, Cheren. How did I know?
That was my strat.
How does he know? Get her out. Get her out. That was weightlifter Rachel, Cheren.
Everything seemed like business as usual until we got to the face of Twist Mountain and Cheren sent out an absolute monster against my boyfriend.
A Garchomp? Oh.
His go-to strategy for things like this is to pop a Leech Seed and then start setting up curses. Being a tortoise, Tecton is naturally defensive, meaning that 1 or 2 curses pretty much walls this Garchomp's Dragon Claws.
I'm really glad I got Tecton. Because, like, this is one of those situations where if I didn't have Tecton, I wouldn't really be sure what to do.
Yeah. It's a shame that Cheren put leftovers on it because that negates the Leech Seed, but once the strategy gets set up properly, the only thing that can break it is an unlucky crit.
Oh my god, he just crit and killed Tecton. Seriously?
No! That's Giratina! Apparently my boyfriend isn't allowed to have grass types in this playthrough, because every time he catches one, he loses it. Our encounter in Twist Mountain just added insult to injury, as we caught an Azurill and a Jeep. Azurill may as well be the poster child of Soul Link angst, because it starts as a normal type and evolves into a water type, literally the 2 most common pairs. Yeah, but like what I'm trying to say is, if we find another like pair that has fighting or something, like or you know, like something else, like that's a pair that I'm willing to give up if it means getting you something.
You'd be willing to give up a Hariyama? Thanks.
Yeah.
That's really generous.
Are you being shitty? I'm just trying to be strategic.
I'm just laughing. It's like, what a sacrifice. I'll keep the Groudon and the Latios, but you know, the Hariyama I'm willing to part with.
Okay, mister. Feeling demotivated from our most recent loss, we decided to take our frustration out on Bryson for a 7th gym badge before taking a break for lunch. Thankfully, we nabbed the badge without any casualties.
Oh my god, I actually beat Cheren for once. Let's go.
Yay!
Oh my god, only 1 badge to go.
I know. I've learned to always be cautious when walking out of gym doors in Gen 5 because people just love to be waiting for us outside. Both Cheren and Bianca are there before Bryson joins us and reveals the Shadow Triad trying to ambush us. Of course the friends want to chat. Cheren, girl, I've been talking with Bianca. We headed north to the Dragon Spiral Tower, but more importantly, another encounter. With the loss of one of our best pairs, his team was in shambles. Sometimes things look their darkest just before the clouds part though, as inside of Dragon Spiral Tower, my boyfriend finally turned his luck around. What?
Oh, baby. I
That's
finally
so
got
exciting.
something good, Cheren.
I know, I'm so excited for you.
I'm just a steel type trainer at this point. So I'm catching this bad boy.
Yeah, are you inside the tower?
I'm in the tower. I didn't use the exterior grass.
Cobalion is his first legendary encounter this playthrough, and with a baby bok for me, those two are going straight on the squad. Hopefully I have some better luck with the grass types.
Is that baby bok?
It's baby bok.
We got baby bok back in rotation?
I got a baby bok! It's at this point in the game that the version differences between our games begin to pop up here and there. Since I played Black my first time through, I was excited to see what works differently in Pokemon White. After N captures his legendary Pokemon at the top of the tower, we have to backtrack to the Desert Resort and the Relic Castle. We totally forgot that we could have nabbed these encounters from here much earlier in the game, but better late than never.
Glalie is an ice type.
Ooh, that would be cool. That'd be good against ground.
I guess so, yeah.
We got a Glalie and a Mightyena, and being a dark ice pair, we filled out our 6th team slot. A bunch of story stuff has to happen now on our way to the 8th gym battle, and while all that goes down, we may as well take a look at the 2 team comps. If you're an astute viewer, you may have picked up on Boy's fighting type weakness. His only answer is Tintin the Staraptor, who, despite taking neutral damage, has Intimidate to cut opponents' attack stats on the switch end. The reason I'm sharing this is that while most of his Pokemon are linked to powerhouses on my team, Tintin is linked to my Heatmore. Heatless wasn't really doing much in most of my battles, but every time I sent him out, Boy would have a heart attack because he couldn't afford to lose his bird.
I am a fighting weakness trainer, Cheren. I don't specialize in a type, I specialize in a weakness.
Opelucid City was especially cool for me because the city looked entirely different than how I remembered it. Whoa, wait, so it's different. Holy shit, I want to check this out.
Isn't it cool?
Alder! That looks so cool, there's like rose bushes. Here, we battled with Drayden or Iris depending on the version, and before we knew it, we had our 8th badge. That meant that all that was left was the Elite Four and the story battles that followed them.
Bianca gave me a bunch of max revives. Can't use those. Well, thanks anyways, I guess.
He's trying.
Is that some kind of sick joke because you guys keep knocking out my Pokemon?
Something the two of us noticed about this generation and randomizers is that it's much easier since the major boss battles have less Pokemon. In the base game, those teams are small but built differently. Even though they specialize in a specific type, they have moves and strategies that cover their weaknesses.
Moai, I don't even know why you're here, frankly, man. You
Other
just...
than Fury Swipes.
Why don't you just sit at the back of the party and stop coming out?
Here, the randomizer throws all of that out the window, and what you get is what you get. The real danger of a trainer with big team is that they have more opportunities to set out something ferocious. All the gym leaders in this gen only have 3 Pokemon each, which makes them a lot less scary than those bug kids on Route 1.
Delibird! My boy! Oh. Let's give him a turn to heal me. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him one round and see. Let's see if he'll heal me, Cheren. Raiden's gonna think poorly of me. It's like, get your own Pokemon. Don't be a thief. Come on, Delibird. Oh, he heals me, Cheren. What a good, loyal companion, Cheren.
What a good guy.
What a loyal penguin. Thanks, DDD. I tell you, every time I see a Delibird in one of these, I get like the warm, fuzzy feelings.
Aww. Like in every game, climbing to the top of Victory Road is the last major challenge before tackling the Elite Four. This is the final chance to make changes to our teams and test their mettle.
Jesus, the encounter rate in this game is like insane. What the fuck is this?
What? What?
This is like my worst nightmare coming true right now.
The game knows. We each got one more encounter here, but wouldn't you know it, it was another water type. All's well though, as we both already had teams we were happy with for the final showdown. With last minute preparations made and some held items moved around the team, we stepped through the gates and started the final gauntlet of the game.
All right, Antoinette.
Sonia.
be the second Antoinette I've fought this playthrough. I think Clay may have been an Antoinette. Oh god, it's a fighting type. My one weakness. And we'll intimidate him. Charen's got a tentacle over there. Okay.
How does it avoid my attack?
Woo! There it goes. Okay, what else you got? Hopefully no more fighting types. Not a bad fighting weakness. A Whale Lord. Okay. Used 6 of my discharge PP on one Whale Lord. Not a very fun thing for a Spearow? Are we kidding? Are you joking around over there, Cheren? Tentacool and a Spearow?
Yup.
What the hell are you on, girl? Can I have some?
We can trade.
Alright, well, I'm glad that was out of the way.
Nice.
Alright. Rachel.
Mike.
Okay, Rachel, let's see what you got. You might want to look me up sometime, Rachel. Ooh, that's quad weak defying. I think I know what I'm hitting it with. This is Tintin's time to shine.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he's going for that dynamic punch. That's why he mind read me. See if you get a turn to do it, Grimsley. Flamethrower.
Let's see what it looks like.
Holy shit, that was a crit. And he burns me? No way, dude. Well, and Moai can't even do half? That's quad damage, Moai. What? Honestly, this is like the biggest love-hate relationship of any Soul Link right here. Me and Moai. I can't even believe that this Pokemon made it to the Elite Four with me. How are you still alive, brother?
Comby's
Is that another
bug.
crit? He crit me twice. Okay, let's try that again. Rock Slide. I should have just gone to the Blastoise, you know? But I was like, no, Moai, like, this is a cool opportunity. There we go. Good job, Moai. I'm sure we'll cut the 3 times that we didn't get to attack him out. That's not making it out of post. Double crit by a Charizard. All right, well that was Rachel. Schoolboy Rachel.
Schoolboy Rachel.
What's her name gonna be? Pie.
She's also Mike. 2
Mikes and a pie. Okay. Swoobat. Oh, I am sorry for what's about to happen to you, Swoobat. Hitmonlee. We can definitely soften him up, but maybe we get the Intimidate drop here. Fighting types are a problem. You know?
Yeah.
Like, anytime a fighting type comes out, panic starts to set in. Are you fighting a Butterfree over there?
Yeah, does any of these have priority?
No.
There's some flame bursting.
May as well, yeah. That's what it's there for. There's a future sight attack coming, so I'm trying to be careful. Holy shit, that was a crit. Oh my god, and the para, and the future sight attack. Was that like... I have 6 health.
Oh my goodness.
That was the most, like... a stroke of bad luck, Cheren, let me tell you. At least we're alive.
Oh, that's nerve-wracking.
Oh, she's full restoring too. How cute. We're both just healing our Pokemon for a turn. I crit him right back. Oh my god, I love that Pokemon, but seriously, you're fighting a Joltik now?
It's so cute.
A Camerupt. Alright, we'll surf him. I beat my girl.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna crawl into bed. Landon.
Tristan.
A primate. Taryn, what is it with all, like, the one type that I'm trying to avoid, and they just have plenty of them?
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the only way to deal with fighting types. You go burb. He's gone.
Nice.
Or Manatan. Oh my god, Cooper, you finally get a moment here.
There was a moment.
Cooper gets a
Frickin' dude
moment.
Did magnet something that made him levitate.
So
then
you can't
earthquake
EQ
didn't
him.
matter. I like your gear.
Thank you.
It's very majestic.
He's brave.
Yeah.
Sacred Soul. There she goes. See ya, Chansey. That was pretty, like, manageable. You know?
Mm-hmm. Since this is Gen 5, things get a little funky after Elite 4 are defeated. Instead of battling the champion, we have to contend with the evil team. Before that though, we have a final encounter with our respective box art legendary Pokemon. They've been randomized as well, but since this is a static encounter, what we get is what we get. We just have to cross our fingers that it's not another water.
I have a water type.
Okay.
Mine's a Kyogre. Well, we're putting you in the box, buddy.
All that's left to do after the game disrespects us like that is put it in its place. We've got 2 back-to-back fights here against N and Getsis. With 6 Pokemon each, there's no telling what could get sent out. Hopefully there aren't too many fighting types though. Oh, we did! Oh!
He actually has 6 Pokemon.
He does.
So this is actually kind of tough because we got 12 Pokemon battle here at the end.
Oh.
It's a Clink.
Bloody
He has a Clink, Taryn. We're gonna be fine. It's a Clink.
Clink.
It's Squeebles, Taryn.
Squeebles!
This is revenge. I'm not saying I don't deserve it. This is stabs. This should do a lot of damage. Wow, that didn't. Oh, he knows Aura Sphere. I forgot about that. Oh my god, that hurt. Okay. So he's going to be hitting me with fighting type attack. Special, so I can't intimidate it. He's Dragon Ghost, so maybe I can Ice Beam with Cooper. Maybe he'll miss the Aura. Oh no, Aura Sphere never misses. I'm thinking of Focus Blast.
Mm-hmm.
This is a problem. And Shadow Force. Stab, Ghost type move. Oh man, that hurt. Oh my god, that did nothing! Blastoise! What the hell, man? I thought Blastoise was a good Pokemon.
I know.
So he's Shadow Forcing again, I'm assuming. Yep. So he disappears. So here's the idea. Normal types are immune to Shadow Force, so I go out to Tintin.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't affect Tintin. Okay, huge. This thing's a little bit of a problem. Oh, and then he full restores. What a dick.
Oh no.
Thing is, if he Aura Spheres my Glalie, I'm in bad shape, so I kind of have to stick it out with Cooper. I need to heal or I'm going to lose Cooper here. You know, Cooper may not be able to do much damage, but at least he can take a hit. At the very least. Okay, well, N... Oh, he's got one more Pokemon after Omastar. Not out of the woods yet. Kakuna, Cheren.
A Kakuna?
Kakuna Matata. I feel like this was what it was all for. We suffered the entire game so that they could just give us all the easy Pokemon here at the end. It's like, we've proven ourselves. He goes, my last friend, his courage. I'm like, what, the cocoon? What are you gonna do, buddy? Harden? What are you gonna do, harden?
What are you gonna do, Harden?
Oh yeah, there he goes, harden. Alright. En's been taking lessons from Bugsy, apparently. Alright. Oh, you beat him too. Nice job.
I did.
Woo! Developer N defeated. Okay. Marcellus. We got Marcellus Wallace over here. 6 Pokemon. Cavagrigus. Wait a minute. Isn't that what he always has?
Oh, yeah.
This is his lead. You got a Slugma.
I did get a Slugma.
Oh, he has Shadow Ball. We resist it though.
That's good.
Okay, Iron Head him. Nice. Alright, I finally got his first Pokemon. You have a Spoink? Am I seeing that correctly? A Spoink?
Yeah.
Jeez, I got a Breloom here. Tintin. This has Tintin written all over it.
Yeah, bring out the Tintin.
Okay. Ooh, you got one of those.
Yeah.
Grass fighting. That's
Has
cool.
Luster Purge all over it. What is Retaliate?
If the Pokemon before the turn fainted, it does double damage.
Ow.
Carvana. That's Coil.
It has Coil written all over it.
So far, like, what's the scariest thing he's had? That Cafagrigus, I guess? But that thing wasn't even that bad. Politoed. Man, I'm just sitting here clicking discharge, Cheren.
Mm-hmm.
This has become second monitor content over here.
Oh no.
Perish Song. Okay, get Coil out of there.
So, can I use it to retaliate multiple times?
Well, it doesn't have double power after that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hit him with an ice beam.
Hit him with an ice beam.
Oh man, couldn't even take it out in one shot. That's a bummer. You have a Burmy? Is this girl on? What the hell are you doing over there? This is such BS. I'm so jealous. It's cool to see Heatmore getting some good use.
I wanted everybody to get used if possible.
We used our 2 like weakest members at the end of there. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Good job, El. Way to clean up. Well, we did it, Cheren. I know that was kind of anticlimactic, but we did it.
Wait, holy shit, you're right, we did.
The game's over.
And just like that, another victory for the boy and girl Soul Link team. It had some close moments, at least for one of us.
Cheren, it is, as much as I complain, it is very fun having to use my brain in a game.
But we remain linked from start to finish. The final death tally was that my boyfriend lost 3 Pokemon, and I didn't lose any. I think we're getting better at this thing. That was the least we've lost yet. Luckily, I had a pretty cute teacher. And I'm not just saying that because I want him to do another one of these with me. I feel like you lost me the Giratina and you were like, I'm done. I'm done.
That was the game kicking a boy while he was down.
Yup.
But whatever, we did it. I can't believe I lost you 2, Terrakion and Giratina.
Well, I mean, the fact that I even had 2 legendaries to be lost in the first place because I still had 3 on my team. If you're still hungry for more boy meets girl content, then head over to our Twitch where we stream 3 days a week. If you enjoyed this video, we've even got a Soul Link that we've been playing through live over there. Until next time, bye, Ed! A huge thank you goes out to all of our channel members and patrons. Videos like this are possible thanks to your continued support. Extra special thanks go to our 6-wheelers: Daniel Rogers, Gizmo, Isaac Vogan, David Webb, Mace, Albino the Infernape, Gray is Sleepy, Taco Supreme, Rob Skittles, Shane Boy, and Cerberus. I'm already waist deep in my playthrough for our next video, so don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss it.